Well, I've got one hell of a report to share with you guys today. For years, I have been warning about how corrupt the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, and all these three-letter agencies are. In fact, I have shown evidence over the years of how the Biden administration has used these three-letter agencies as weapons against his political opposition. Well, now James O'Keefe over at OMG Media has just shared one bombshell story about corruption within our CIA. In fact, a project manager who works in cyber operations for the CIA and the NSA, and as an NSA government contractor with top clearance, by the way, this man has just revealed some corrupt information that is just going to blow all of your minds. In fact, James O'Keefe put this up just prior to releasing it, and here's what he says. James O'Keefe, this is going to be hot. In fact, maybe the hottest ever. They may come after me for this one. So James O'Keefe is literally afraid for his life and then coming after him in some way, shape, or form. He also put this up prior to releasing the story that I'm about to show you. He says, I have evidence that exposes the CIA and it's on camera. I am working on releasing a story that I believe is the most important of my entire career. Do you think it's a coincidence that right at this moment, I'm subject to an endless series of attacks? This is obviously a sophisticated information operation designed to stop me from releasing this story. I'm sure you recognize they are masters of using half-truths and innuendos to raise doubts against people who don't deserve it. It's meant to consume my time and energy and make me back down. But I'm not going to let it work. Rest assured, nothing will stop me from releasing this story. And he very well has just released the story. Now, before I dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor at Noble Gold Investments. If you guys have not checked out gold, now is the time to do so. You see, gold has gone up more than 81% in the last 5 years, and it's even going up right now. Central banks are dictating the dollar, and U.S. treasuries are buying more gold. And the good news, it's predicted to go up even more. Noble Gold Investments phone has been ringing non-stop. Everyone wants to protect their retirement with gold, and you can do the same. And right now, they are giving away a 1/4 ounce gold coin with any approved plan. You guys can see that on the screen here. Just let them know you heard it on Lisa Haven. You can give them a call at the number on the screen, 1-877-646-5347, or go to lisahavengold.com right here to this website. Fill out that information, and they'll send you this Noble Gold investment guide for free. So make sure you guys check that out over here. All right. So with that, let's dive into, well, the video bombshell that James O'Keefe has just dropped. And I'm going to go directly to his Twitter page for that. And right here, who you see on the screen is the young man who gave the information, right? And this is Amaj Fasisi. He's a project manager in cyber operations CIA personnel. And here's what he has to say. And that's kind of his background, right? But here's what he has to say. Take a listen.
We kept information from him.
What am I saying?
We kept information from him.
From Trump?
Yes. He's an idiot. And there are certain people that will like, give him a high level overview, but never give him anything. You know why? It's called leak to a secret.
Amjad Fasisi states that higher-ups within the intel community, including CIA directors Mike Pompeo and Gina Haspel, and the upper levels of their staffs colluded to withhold information from sitting President Trump.
So the agencies kind of like all got together and said, we're not going to tell Trump.
The higher-ups.
The higher-ups.
You put it this way, the executive staff, we're talking about the director and his subordinates.
Like what titles are they? The
Director of the CIA.
director of the CIA would keep.
Yes.
Are you guys still watching him?
I would say yes.
Ooh, are you guys still watching him? I would say yes. Oh, I don't think you're supposed to say that. Well, much less admit to it, right? So here's a guy, and he literally admits what Matt Taibbi, Alex Gutentag, and Michael Schellenberg has been telling us about these three-letter agencies for quite some time. And that is the fact that, hey, they not only spied on Trump, but they're continuing to spy on Trump. In fact, there's a clip later in that video that reveals the fact that they're even spying on Donald Trump's ex-wife. So not only Trump, but those affiliated with him. In this case, he says the ex-wife. And not only that, but then he goes on to display the information or reveal the fact that they kept information from a sitting president. Isn't that like illegal and against the law? I mean, really? This is insanity. In fact, here's a little bit more information that James O'Keefe shares on his feed here, and I want to kind of highlight this. And here's what he says. Contractors like FCC hold the duty to withhold sharing confidential or national security information. In denying his statements, FCC may have realized he could be held liable for violating internal agency provisions and federal laws like the executive agency's ethics provision, who restrict what he may share with others outside of his contracted to agencies. Additionally, any government worker or agency head who withheld information from a superior, i.e. President Trump, may violate obstruction of justice by deceit, obstruct to conspiracy, and false statements. Agency regulations may also provide offenses related to insubordination, reflecting poorly on the agency in public, or misrepresentation or dishonesty. So FCC has denied the whole thing, right? That's the update. Oh, it wasn't me, even though it's him on camera. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. But the reason he has to deny it is because he can get in a crap load of trouble. Crap load is just putting a little bit of a sweetener on it, so to speak. It's way worse than that. Not to mention the agency who obstructed information from a sitting president can also be in a whole hell of a lot of trouble. You are not supposed to restrict that information from the executive office, from the freaking president of the United States. And he calls Donald Trump an idiot. I mean, what does he think Joe Biden is? I'm just curious because he has dementia. Donald Trump can put sentences together. That man can't. But anyway, the CIA decided to comment back this time to James O'Keefe after, putting him through the ringer, to put it lightly. But here's what the CIA had to say. And this is on James O'Keefe's Twitter page, or X page, excuse me. The official appears to have been terminated as a result of our reporting today. When the CIA was asked for comment, O'Keefe Media received an exclusive statement on the record from a CIA spokesperson. Here's what they said specifically. Quote, "These claims about the CIA are absolutely false and ridiculous. The CIA is resolutely a political institution that provides intelligence support to policy makers, including the President of the United States, irrespective of who occupies the office. We are a foreign intelligence focused agency, and we do not monitor the former president. The individual making these allegations is a former contractor who does not represent the CIA." Of course you did. Of course you have to deny it because you beat a lot of trouble. I think this needs some real serious looking into, because, if somebody committed a murder, right? That's like the murderer coming out and saying, "I didn't murder that person. They're lying." And that's how I feel that the CIA is doing now. But the good news is there is one lone representative, at least, that wants to, have a discussion about some of this. And that's our good old boy, Representative Matt Gaetz. I'm formally calling on the Weaponization Subcommittee to immediately launch an investigation into O'Keefe Media Group's bombshell report containing video evidence that the American intelligence agencies withheld intelligence from President Donald Trump before and during his presidency and used Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act authorities to spy on President Trump. Now, can we actually go somewhere with this instead of just printing it on a piece of paper and talking about it? Would be nice, really, if we had other Republicans who actually did their damn job, which we don't. Right? Anyway, I get so mad because we hire these people and elect these people into office to do something. And here is, I don't care if that happened to Joe Biden, Obama, Bush, whoever. It is a It is wrong, and they're committing crimes. The executive office needs to know everything, no matter who the president is at the time. If they had done this to Joe Biden, as much as I hate Joe Biden has a right to know. And instead, we have this two-tier hierarchy system where even the CIA and these other three-letter agencies have the balls to say, we're not going to give the sitting president information. Doesn't matter if the people elected him in. We don't like him. We're not telling him nothing. Or only little bitsy pieces of information that we think he needs to know. Who elects the CIA? Who elects the FBI? Good question, because as I recollect, none of us voted them in, but it seems like they have a whole hell of a lot more power than a sitting president now, doesn't it? Now that's a scary thought. And that's why I put disbanding and firing and revamping or getting rid of some of these agencies altogether above and beyond anything, because this is where a lot of our censorship comes from. This is where a lot of our problems are coming from. This is how this intelligence community has dug their grubby hands in our congressional offices, in our executive offices, and in our judicial offices, and it has got to stop. I'm sick of people like that intervening in things that have no place with what they're doing. They should not be interfering in our political affairs, yet they are. Anyhow, wanted to bring this all to you. I love you all. The CIA is obviously not going to like this video by James O'Keefe for anyone who shares it, which is all the more reason for you to share it with everybody you know. Anyhow, for those of you unrestricted, I always put the videos in the About section, so share the link there as well. Anyhow, I love you all. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven signing out.